That's a candle, and I want to learn to put out a candle. Well, that's easy. But I don't want to blow it out. I want to find another way. I want to put out a candle with my hands. This is stupid. Yes. Yeah. Because this means I have to touch fire. Imagining to touch fire with my fingers really set me up, but I tried. 3, 2, 1. But first things first, I've got this idea when I had lunch. And I also lighted up a candle. And when eating, I remembered like 15 years ago in the kindergarten, we were having lunch too. And then I saw another child putting out a candle with his fingers and I thought he's crazy. But then I thought, I've got this picture in my head 15 years and I think it's time to try it, to learn it. The first 15 minutes I was just sitting there looking at the candle and doing nothing. I don't want to. I really don't want to. I knew it's gonna be a hard battle. My praying against the candle, my fear against the fire. And I was really afraid. But I had this picture in my head I would never have to blow out a candle again. Of course it works, but I wanted to learn something new. My brain was split. I knew I had to touch the fire to put out the candle, but still I was so afraid of doing this. If there's anything you learn in childhood, it's like don't play with fire. What am I doing? Am I the first ever person to do this? There are even kids doing this. Find your inner child. But when watching those videos, I saw that people are licking their fingers. This means you have a layer of liquid on your fingers and this prevents your finger from burning. Having a little bit of protection on my fingers convinced me to try it. But I quickly realized it's not a technique that's stopping me, but it's fear. It's pure fear. I was just afraid because it's fire and fire is hot. So I randomly came up with a medley of fire songs. And I say fire, the firework up and burning, set them up and flame. But I was just wasting time. It's not getting better by looking at it. I had been looking on the candle and the flame for so long that I was more afraid than at the beginning. Now I actually just had to try it. So how was it? I had goosebumps all over my body. Not because I'm feeling cold. I was really shocked. It didn't hurt at all. Probably I was a bit overreacting. Then I touched the flame again, but the light was still there. No, it's not working! It's not working! I touched the fire. I did, but just touching the flame for a split second isn't enough to smother the flame. The two fingers have to be a little bit longer in the flame to abstract the oxygen. Otherwise the light keeps glowing. Or my alternative explanation? It's like running away from me! I kept trying, flicking my fingers and putting them into the flame. And again. But I was still afraid, even though I did it like 100 times. And after touching the flame for so many times, my fingers taste burned. Then I realized I had touched the flame for so many times, why don't fully commit and put out the candle. So I licked my fingers again. 3. Still I was really afraid. 3, 2, 1. I committed and I did it. That's my reaction on mute. Anybody wants to listen to my reaction? Oh my god! Oh my god! I did it! Yeah. Actually, there's zero pain, like zero pain. It's just 100% fear. Because my fingers stayed totally fine. So now I was able to put out a candle with my fingers. But I had to lick my fingers. Well, sometimes I do it anyway when eating. But I wanted to go one step further. I want to be able to do it without licking my fingers. This means I don't have this layer of saliva as protection. But it's more likely to burn the fingers. But I said to myself, okay, no pain, just fear. So I tried, pretty much touching every time the flame. I was still really afraid, but I kept trying. And after a few tries, 3, 2, 1. Yes! Oh my god, I did it. Okay, I've got one final challenge. I wanted to put out 3 different candles in a row as fast as possible. Okay, 3 candles. Oops. I was quite surprised by myself. Oh my god. 10 seconds. Because the more I did it, the easier it became because I totally lost my fear. I totally forgot I'm touching flame. It just felt like touching my fluffy head. Even though at the beginning, I wasn't sure if I would overcome the fear of touching a flame. So I progressed from blowing out a candle to staring at a flame for 15 minutes because I was afraid to touch it, to touching a flame for the first time, putting out a candle with a little bit of saliva on my fingers, putting out a candle with just my fingers too. Super easy. From then on, it just felt like the most normal thing on the world, putting my fingers into a flame and putting out a candle. My brain and my fear had won the battle against the candle and the flame. I learned my next skill, putting out a candle with my fingers, done. I realized once again, if you want to, you can do anything.